Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Ellie Snake Lady and today I'm going to be doing a feeding vlog with all my snakes. So I thought I wanted to do this vlog because I know some people are a bit squeamish and funny about snake feeding, because obviously they eat frozen thawed mice, well mine do anyway, and just show you it's not as gross as what some people make it out to be. So I'm going to be showing you how I store my frozen mice, which is obviously in the freezer, and just sort of what boxes and stuff that I keep them in, and also show you how I sterilise surfaces after I finish getting the frozen mice out, because we don't want salmonella being rife or anything. So yeah, so I'm going to show you that, and then I'm going to show you myself defrosting the mice, and then I'll get on to feeding hoggies, because it's daytime. They would eat in the daytime in the wild, so I will just be feeding them first. And then after that I shall be feeding all my corn snakes and Estrella, my Mexican black king snake. So I will feed them in the evening when the light levels get lower and it gets darker and one thing and another. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to show you today, and without any further ado I should just get straight on with the video, and thanks very much for watching. So these are the boxes where I keep my frozen mice. So this says medium large mice, and this is just like extra sort of storage for sort of backup, as it were, because this can only hold so many mice obviously. So this is my, once I've run out of them, I get the stuff from this box and put it in here basically. So anyway, so I've got those, and I've got 3 sheets of kitchen towel to put them in. So what I'll do first is, let me see, what have I got now then? There's one hopper in there, so I've got this out and I'm just going to pop it there for the mow. What have we got here now then? I'll need to, this is my backup, as I say. I've got a load of new mice the other day, so I'm just going to open this. I've got another hopper there, so that's 2. And then I'll get another one out for Artemis. Oh, we've got 2 there. Put that back. So yeah, so I've got one for her. So I know they're different colours. Sometimes snakes are funny. They only like to eat white mice and not the black ones. Or, you know, sometimes they just like the black ones and don't like the white ones. So we'll just see how it goes today. But I think what I'll do is I'll just give that one to Artemis, that one to Zephyrus, and that one to Aristeus. Now what I'm going to do is just roll them up. There we go. And put them to one side. So that's the youngest sorted. So now what I'm going to do, no, we don't fall down there, thank you very much. Right, so now I'm going to get some medium mice for my other snakes. Okay, so I've got some medium ones here, so you know that'll just be Caduceus, Asclepion, Apollonia. Then we've got one for Athene and one for Estrella. So I'm just going to fold them lot up and let them defrost. Just pop that there, and then I'll do this one. And that's that. So I think what I'm going to do is just put these medium mice back in here. I've still got some fuzzies. I've got some pinkies, just in case of anything. Yeah, and then I'll just put these hoppers in here so they're ready to go for next time. And put these random lance fish on top, and that's that. See if I can shut this. Just use Dettol and a bit of kitchen towel. These mice are now defrosted. I've defrosted them with a hairdryer, and you always have to make sure that they are just sort of ever so slightly cool to the touch and not sort of hard whatsoever, because obviously if they're still cold and hard, they're frozen. So anyway, these are well defrosted now, so I'm just going to get on and feed my hoggies. Dearie me. You in the bowl. So because Zephyrus has been fussy, I'm just going to put him in this bowl. Come on, little boy. Come on. There we go. In we go. There we go. Paper on top. Right, let's see if that little boy's eaten. Nope. Oh dear. Oh, that didn't work that time. Right, I'll get him out. Oh, there we go. Are you not hungry? Naughty boy. Oh well, I'll leave that in that box. Oh, there we go. Leave it in there for now. Oh well, there he goes. So what I normally do when they don't eat is just I'll put that mouse into like a plastic bag and then just put it in the main bin outside. So as you can see from that video, my two hoggy boys, well, one of them ate. That was Aristeus. He ate his food, but Zephyrus didn't. So anyway, I've kind of sorted them out where they're concerned. So I did put Zephyrus in that feeding bowl, but he just really wasn't having any of it today. So I'm assuming he wasn't hungry. So I will try and feed him again next week. Aristeus, as you all saw, he did eat his food, so he's back on that again. He went off it for a couple of weeks, but he seems to be back eating his food again. So as I say, while I left Zephyrus in his feeding bowl, I fed Aristeus, and yeah, so it's unfortunate Zephyrus didn't eat, but I'll try him again next week, and I'm just happy that Aristeus is eating. So anyway, so yeah, that's it. As I said before, I feed them in the daytime because that is when they would eat normally in the wild. That's when they're out and about a lot, is in the daytime. But once the light levels get low and it gets dark, that's when my hoggies tend to just go to bed pretty much. So that's normal for hoggies. So when it gets a little bit darker, I shall be moving on to my corn snakes and onto Estrella, my Mexican black king snake, and I'll be feeding them their food. So I'm just going to wait a bit until it gets a bit darker. It's still a bit light outside at the minute, but yes, I will be back and I will be feeding them. So I'll see you in a bit. The light levels have got low now. It's getting dark. It's early evening time. So I'm going to feed my corn snakes, starting with Caduceus, and then I shall feed Asclepion, Apollonia Athene, and then Artemis. And then after that I shall feed my Mexican black king snake, Estrella. And yeah, we'll just see how they get on. So I'm just going to get straight on with that. can see from that video, all my corn snakes ate their food. Trust Asclepian to be like the crazy one, so he nearly fell out his tank, and I didn't manage to catch it all on video, but he coiled round his mouse, and then he kind of slowly started falling out the tank. I thought, why is he not gripping onto anything? And he couldn't, so I had to help him up and back into his tank, and then he kind of went into his water bowl, and from then on in he started eating his mouse in that. So he's a crazy one. He's a funny boy, and he's not very good at clinging on to things. He's okay, but he's never been like the greatest sort of thing at clinging on. So anyway, so that was a bit of a crazy moment. As I say, Caduceus ate his food. Apollonia, she had her food, you know, absolutely fine. She was a little bit secretive, but she was fine. And then I obviously gave Athene her food, absolutely fine. And Artemis did eat her food, and that mouse looks so tiny compared to all the other mice that I was feeding my corn snakes, but she'll get there eventually, and she'll move on to the bigger mice. So yeah, she wasn't bothered by the colour of it either, so that's great. I'm happy with how she's progressing. And also to mention that she did just shed her skin. It's literally, she had her food and then shed her skin, which was really weird. So yeah, that was a bit strange. My last snake that I fed was Estrella, and she, you know, guzzled her food down, and yet again she's a bit secretive still. That's normal for Mexican black king snakes. They're always a bit like that. I've heard a lot of people say that they're quite secretive with their food and one thing and another. So yeah, so every one of them ate. As I say, all my snakes ate apart from Zephyrus, but I'll just try them again next week. And with all my other snakes, just to let you know that I do feed Artemis every sort of 12 days now to 2 weeks. I feed all my other corns, my adult corns, every 2 weeks on a medium mouse. Artemis is on a hopper, as you saw, so she's still building her way up to the bigger mice. Estrella is on a medium mouse every 2 weeks as well. And with my 2 hoggy boys, I feed them every week because hognoses have a quicker metabolism. It can, it might only take them 24 hours to digest their food, and that's it, they're done. And I know with Aristeas, he's eaten one day and 2 days later he's pooped. Even a day later he might have pooped. So yeah, he's got quite a quick metabolism, which I imagine Zephyrus has as well. I've just not noticed it as much with him, but yeah, so they get fed every week on hopper mice, and my 2 hoggy boys will be on those like for the rest of their lives pretty much. So yeah, so they did, as I say, nearly all my snakes ate their food but one, and I think when you've got quite a few snakes you always get one that will, you know, reject their food. But anyway, so I'm pleased with how they're going, and I'm really hoping that you weren't sort of grossed out by the food. I know some people are grossed out by feeding snakes frozen thawed mice. I would never feed live mice, just to say, to any of my snakes, any mice that are running around and whatnot. I would not put any mice like that in with my snakes, because I just think it's unkind to the mouse, and also that's a way that snakes can get injured, because the mice will fight back and they'll, you know, maybe bite into the snake, and then you end up with an injured snake with an infected injury possibly. So frozen thawed all the way for me. So yeah, so that's it. But yeah, anyway, if you've enjoyed this video, then please like and subscribe, and when you do subscribe, please hit that bell notification and click all so you get notifications of all my latest videos. And if you've got any comments or questions or anything like that, then just pop them in the comment section below and I'll do my best to answer. But for now, from myself and all my snaky babies, who I'm leaving for a couple of days to digest their food, it is goodbye, and we'll see you in my next video. Thanks very much for watching.